Hello everybody, it's I, Carbonic Pikmin here for yet another Touhou 1cc. This time, I'm revisiting one I've already done before, Touhou 6. Now you see, I was doing the daily grind at Touhou 13, 14, and 16, and I got really sad because I kept losing at very close to the end in Touhou 13 and 14 specifically. So to blow off some steam, I went, yeah, let me just boot up Touhou 6, that game's always fun. And then just do a run of it. You know, I wasn't really expecting to 1cc it. I picked a playstyle I've never used before, Reimu B. And I haven't played the game in 3 months, and I ran it. And then I managed to somehow, by God's grace, pull off a 1cc. So here we are with a recording. Now, to get into the actual one itself, stage 1 is very simple. I guess this is kind of lucky that I managed this, because I actually never did get to do any voice recording for my Marissa playthrough. So I want to make note of one thing. Marissa is so much faster than Reimu. It never really hit me until I started this playthrough up, and I was like slogging across the screen compared to Marissa. Now, I really don't have anything to offer for this first stage. Stage 6 of Touhou 6 is one of the easier stages in the whole franchise, if I'm being honest. It's just simple movements to avoid the bullets, and then just going for each end of the screen to take out the enemies as fast as you possibly can, to kill them as fast as possible. I tripped myself out a fair bunch in this because the item get line doesn't exist yet. So I keep moving to the top of the screen expecting it to collect the things for me, but it doesn't. But you just want to collect the P to get as much power as soon as possible, and try to take them off as soon as they come on screen. The Rumia mini boss is really nothing of note either, just simple patterns. And here we are with the first boss, Rumia. She is very simple. In fact, I like to be a little, it doesn't really count as risky, but I like to try and graze as much as possible for some extra free points. Now, the first spell card is just simple dodging. The second one, again, she leaves giant open spaces you just have to maneuver through. Not something that'll take a huge amount of effort. Now this one, she'll target lasers at you, and then they'll fire off, and then she'll also shoot 2 bullet spreads. What I like to do is stay as close to the laser fire as possible to get some extra graze points. And then she'll shoot off one big wave, again, just go in between it. You might not even have to dodge most of her attacks because she'll go down so quickly. Now this one, I guess, is her most difficult to dodge, but she'll usually go down in 1 or 2 cycles. She'll just shoot out large open spaces and then some concentrated ones. Now onto stage 2. Stage 2 is pretty simple too. Nothing crazy. If I'm being honest, for Touhou 6, stage-wise, the game's relatively simple, the first 3 stages. It won't take too much effort out of you. It's relatively simple bullet hell. So it'll start off with a bunch of enemies from each side, try to take as many as possible to boost the bullet spread, and the fairies, they'll come from a general spot and start moving from left to right. You'll want to take them out as they come on screen to avoid them getting too close to you, or shooting out bullets. Generally want to try and keep the bullet spread as minimal as possible, even if it's not too big a threat this early on. Be sure to focus on collecting the blue cards and the power. Now here is Daiose, I forget which one it is, but she's the mini boss, Siano's friend. She shoots off 2 very simple patterns. One is just a simple circular knife pattern in which you can just move to a center spot, and the second one you can just stream to the side slowly, and she'll probably die before she gets any chance to hit you. Be careful when you go to collect her bomb, because as you saw, I almost got smacked by these fucking birds. Again, this is just some nice little power farming. Do be careful, because some of the ones that come from the side quickly might snipe you. I've seen it happen to other people, and it's happened once to me before. So don't stay focused too long. The unfocused fire should prevent that from happening though. Now just generally keep moving from left to right, take as many enemies as possible, and get as much power and points to spawn. You want to collect the points to get extra lives, because they're usually pretty helpful in this game. Now here we are with Siano. She does a very simple pattern in which she'll shoot off 3, I guess, triangles of ice. There's a lot of different ways you can dodge that. My personal favorite is to just stream slightly to the side and then make a quick fast movement up the side to avoid the third one. Next is Icicle Fall. I've never really liked messing around with this one, and my general strategy, as you saw in the Marissa video, was to just bomb as soon as they got close to you, and then push forward and shoot her shotgun in the face as much as possible. This strategy doesn't work as well with Reimu B as it does with Marissa A, but it's still a functional strategy. This is a simple non-spell. She'll shoot a bunch of bullets, and you just kind of have to move to the side a little bit and let the shots go off. And when she shoots those shots off, you just have to move to the right, very minute movements, because I believe they target you. They do target, what am I saying? So if you don't move much, they'll be generally the same spot. And you get the same form of perfect damage. Now, Perfect Freeze, Sienna, if I'm being honest, I have more trouble with Sienna than I do the stage 3 boss Mei Ling, just because these, as you can see, I death bombed. Because these three bullets, last two spell cards are a little rough because of how randomized they are. She just shoots out a bunch of bullets randomly all over the place, and if you aren't careful, it can fuck you up pretty badly. Now this one, Diamond Blizzard, is another kind of random fall. You gotta be careful and pay attention to where the bullets are, and avoid getting sniped from the side or clipped up, walled in. I had to move into the right to get where Sienna is, because otherwise I'm just not doing any damage, and she is down. Now we start Stage 3, and Stage 3, things are still relatively simple, but it will require a little bit more memorization on some enemy patterns to make things a bit easier for yourself. If your power isn't maxed already by the end of the Sienna fight, it will max out here. Nice theme, by the way. Now, these enemies you want to slowly stream to the side because they just shoot out a straight beam, a line of little kunai. And then as the fairies start coming in, you'll want to focus on where they're coming from. That's where the I haven't played Touhou 6 in 3 months comes in. I should not have gotten hit at all. And if this was a serious run attempt, I would have just paused and then just killed the one right there. But since I wasn't anticipating a 1cc, I just kept going for fun. So, you generally want to take them out as soon as they come on because, yeah, the bullet spread can get a little bad if you don't eliminate it from the source. Now, here's the mini-boss, Mei Ling. Very simple initial pattern. She'll just shoot out a big circle of red spheres, and you'll have to squeeze in between them, and she'll go to one side of the screen and then shoot a bunch of blue ones off. You really don't have to dodge one pattern of it. Now this one just requires some careful left and right movements to not get bopped from the front. It goes by pretty quickly, and at the end of it you get a nice 1-up as reward. That makes up for my earlier fuck-up, I guess. Now for this one, I generally like to stay in one general area to take out as many of the kunai shooters as possible to make a nice little safe spot for me. And so that way I won't get trapped in between walls of kunai with these fucking white orbs, as you can see. And that was just me getting extra life due to getting 1,000,000 points. Hence why I like to get the blue cards. Now, do I get caught here? Yeah, as you can see, if you don't kill enough, you'll get caught in a situation like that and have to either waste a bomb. I guess I got pretty decent at death bombing, because I remember pulling off quite a few in this one. Now here we are at Mei Ling, and she starts with immediate spiral bullet spread. Pretty simple pattern, nothing to fuss much about. Just make sure you don't get hit by the final wave as they fall in a bit more of a blanket and a bit faster than the earlier ones. Now this pattern looks intimidating, but it's actually just very simply moving to the left and the right, and the left and the right, and the squeeze in between the patterns. You have to just be careful not to move too slowly, otherwise you might risk getting clipped by one of the denser parts of it. But it'll go by fast enough. Now this is a relatively simple non-spell. You have to be careful just because of all the fairies she summons, but you just kind of stream from left to right and take out the fairies as you can. And don't get caught in a bad position with the kunai, and Mei Ling will go down fast enough. And this is probably one of the easiest attacks to dodge in the entire game. In Mercer, I think she only ever gets to pull off like one of them on me, but here she does two. You just have to go in between the big, giant open space twice and then avoid some little bullets. It's not hard at all. Now this one usually gets me because it's a little randomized and I get intimidated. Yep, there it is. But as I said, I'm good at, I guess I got good at death bombing sometime down the road. And here is a final spell card, a just a lot of bullets everywhere. It's a little intimidating because they're coming from different directions, at different speeds. So you just have to watch all your fronts as much as possible and bomb if you get scared. As long as you maneuver around well enough, you should come out of this just fine. But it is a little intimidating. It's one of only really bad spell cards to get through. Alright, here we are at stage 4. This is where things start to get a little bit more rough in the stage category. And it took me a while to get this one down packed. But I like to start by getting rid of as many of the fairies as possible, because I swear it reduces the amount of kunai you have to deal with on screen. Cannot say for sure. Now, for this, I like to go from one end of the screen to the other in stream, because it does not look pretty if you're trying to dodge through all of this shit, let me tell you. So, again, with the just taking the open spot, streaming. Now I have to be a little careful here. Now for these ones, you just want to stay in one spot and take them out as quickly as possible, because for every one of these fairies you kill, it immediately sucks in all the bullets from the screen. And it makes things a lot easier for you. It's almost nothing you'll have to dodge if you do it that way. Again, more streaming, and then the books come in. This is kind of like a short time span you just have to survive for as long as possible. So if you get caught in a bad, just be prepared to bomb here if you get caught in a bad position. Now we're at the mini boss Kawakuma. She does a relatively simple pattern where she shoots out a bunch of big orbs. The white spot on those are safe as long as you don't get hit by the purple, and a bunch of kunai. Just watch out, she drops a bomb at the end. So if you had to waste a bomb during a fight, you can recover pretty easily. Now, this is basically a little freebie section. It's basically just getting some extra power and cards. I'm gonna take a sip of some water real quick. And the bullets come in. Now for this, I like to go to the right, and then slowly move to the left to avoid some of the bullet spam, and then move to the left in time for the lasers. Now I like to stay at this point, I stay in the middle and avoid the bullets coming from the sides of the screen, and take out the fairies to avoid getting fucked over. And if you do it properly, the lasers should avoid you, and you won't get fucked over. You just have to be careful of your placement in looking into the lasers. Now for this one, go to the side that the fairy comes from, and this should be left, and then you want to slowly move to the right to avoid the big bullet spam and the fairy again. You want to take out the fairy specifically because it erases all the bullets and allows you to move from one end of the screen safely without getting fucked over. And for this, you kind of want to go to each position that the enemy spawns from and take them out. I fucked up, so I had the bomb. I do this section a lot better in my Marissa playthrough. This is another thing that not playing the game for 3 months kind of fucked me over on, because my memory of some of the locations fell off. But I managed to dodge well enough. Now again, with the just take out the enemies as fast as possible. Now this one you might have to be careful on, because there are other smaller enemies coming from our screen. They'll take some bullets for the fairies that might prevent you from all the bullets from getting absorbed. So you might have to do some bullet dodging. And here we are at Patchouli. Now she has basically mostly completely different spell cards for each character in each of the different shot types. So this fight actually threw a wrench in things for me for the first time, because I have never seen some of these spell cards before. But this first one's simple, moving from left to until I die. You move from the left to the right based on her laser fire and avoid the bullets. Now for this one, I had to learn on the spot. You move from one end of the screen to the other to avoid the lasers, and then squeeze through the larger spread. And I get intimidated and bomb, and by intimidated I mean I def bomb to save my ass. It's a little rough, yeah. I've never seen that. I'm sure that it's pretty easy once you know what to do. Now again with the lasers, go from the left to the right, and then when she shoots off the blue ones, I like to go as close to her as possible to be ready to start moving to the left and right again. You'll have to be careful moving to the left and right because of the red and blue orb she shoots off. You can get fucked over if you're not quick enough, like that. Now this one, I'm kind of surprised with how I performed here, because usually this when I played Marissa, I'd always hit the bomb here, but I actually got through this by just dodging pretty effectively. Now I can't really give good advice on how to dodge properly here. You just kind of have to try and maneuver in between everything and watch all your sides to make sure you don't get clipped. Mainly your left and the upper sides there. Now she gets you with some bullet spam. You just have to find some safe spots and sit between. There's usually larger sections where the bullets split apart from each other, and only a few smaller ones going your way, you'll want to try and find those spots and just focus on hitting her. Don't run directly into a bullet like I did. Again, 3 months of not playing certainly didn't help me. And this is her final spell card. It kind of shoots off certain bullets in a leftward spiral and then a right spiral where they'll kind of converge. And you have to watch yourself here. You have to maneuver properly. I don't remember if I got hit here or not. But you'll have to watch your left and right side mainly. And nope, I got fine. Now this one is very unoptimal and could have been performed like so much better. But alright. Here we are at stage 5, the notorious murderer of all of my 1cc's. You'll generally want to try and find the safe spot for the blue orb shoot-offs, and then take out the fairy as quick as possible to reduce the bullet spread. And just be ready because there's a lot of bullets. Another safe space, and then some bullet spreads to avoid. Yeah, this stage always fucked with me. This was the first big wall I hit in Touhou that I had to get through. Now it's more bullet spreads. You kind of got. I'm kind of running low on how to describe it, but you gotta find the safe spot. And now for this one, you have to maneuver properly around the bullets. Don't ask me how I did that, but I did. And here's Sakia. Now, you have no idea how many times I've had to fight this son of a bitch, and I have learned her first pattern. So you want to move to the knives when she shoots the big blue ones. You want to move past them as quick as possible, and then move up to the left and then up again to get to the kunai patterns. Now this is the first time I've ever gotten this pattern like without bombing. You have to sit kind of still and then let the red kunai come out, and then move to the right slightly or left slightly depending on where she shoots them from, to avoid them clipping you and to avoid the blue knives. And at the end, she drops an extra life for you. Be careful when you go to retrieve it, because fairies, I almost fucked myself over here. I panic and bomb. I think I would have been fine. I probably didn't have to use that bomb, but hey, that's the nature of panic bombs. I mean, try to avoid panic bombing as much as possible though, because I just lost a pretty good 1cc on Touhou 13 by panic bombing, very unfortunately, twice when I didn't need to, which cost me to run. Now we're actually at Sakia herself, and this is the bane of my 1cc existence in Touhou 6. Now, I didn't even need the bomb there, that's another panic bomb. I might not even be able to describe this one. Just avoid the bullets. They kind of expand the closer they get to you, so you kind of want to try to get out of the way of them before they fully expand, and be careful of the big knives. And then that last part's self-explanatory. Now here we got Clock Corpse. This one is the first time when she freezes time. You have to... What I like to do is move to either the left or right, depending on where the knives are coming from. And be careful of the blue bullets when those are flying in, because those can actually hit you. But the knives should hopefully mostly avoid you when you go from there. You just have to be careful of the ones that are actually heading in all directions, and the normal bullets, to make sure you don't get fucked over. Don't ask me how I did that. That was just really sad. Alright, and this is another relatively simple non-spell. It's again got the expanding knife walls things, but it can be very bad if you're caught in a bad position and could force you to use a bomb. But you can see the general gist of what you have to do. And there I go death bombing again. Now here we got Lunar Clock. This one, she shoots off a circular orb and then makes all the knives go in different directions. Yeah, I panic bombed again. For this one, you kind of have to, I guess, find the best way to move and then just move accordingly based on where the knives are going from, because they'll be going in all different directions. And here we are with another multi-directional knife throw. The blue ones will be coming from the... Actually, yeah, the colors change, so you just have to watch the directions they're coming from. They'll come off the walls and from above, and try to squeeze in between them. This one, mean, she'll throw a bunch of knives, and then, yeah, I got hit from behind, because she, when she changed the knife directions, That one made me very sad. I probably should have gotten hit there. But this is definitely one of her rougher spell cards, just how randomized you can get. Now I got a little concerned that now I want to say around stage 5 I started to realize, hey, this might actually be a 1cc run. And then I got hit from a knife from behind, and I was like, well, this run might have just died, but I'm still going to stick through with it. This is about the point where I started realizing, damn, I might have a 1cc on my hands. Let's see if I can do this. Now, we're at stage 6, and there's nothing to really say here. It's just simple bullet spreads, avoid them. I like to, now for this part, when the fairies come in, I like to stay on the right side of the screen, and then squeeze in between the bullets. I don't know why, but when I played as Marissa, this part gave me so much grief, and here I am getting through it just like, no problem. Here we are at Sakia. Now, I just remembered something. Now, this is a simple pattern. You should not get hit on this, but I get hit on it. So, and this is the part where I was like, damn, did I really just like let a 1cc one get fucking bodied, like, on the simplest part? You can bomb through both of these, if I'm being honest. That's kind of the purpose of it, to waste a bomb. But if you're godlike, you can also just dodge and then beat her that way. That first one you should ideally not get hit on. The second one's the one where you might want to use the bomb, Eternal Meek. And it's a very short stage, and we're already at the boss. I should also take now to note that I used the retexture patch for this playthrough, which is why things look fancy and nice. Now we're at Remilia, and this one is a lot of bullet spread, but a lot of the bullets are larger with safe spots you can move through. So you just kind of want to move from left to right accordingly based on where the best safe spots are. Don't panic bomb like I did, and get through it quickly. This one, she'll shoot off a bunch of lasers, avoid the lines, and from the big circular orbs, it'll shoot off smaller blue orbs, and you'll have to carefully dodge them based on where they're coming from. Be careful because larger like clumps of blue orbs will come from where Remilia is, and those can catch you in a bad position. And I got an extra life, thank God. Now, I panicked there because I forgot which spell card was up next, but she shoots off a bunch of red orbs directly fired at you, so you can just move to the left or the right, and then she does 2 of them in a left to right sweep where you just have to dodge through them. Now this one, I usually don't like messing with this, I just like to bomb and get through it, but she shoots a bunch of smaller bullets in a straight pattern and has a bunch of them kind of coalesce towards you. This is another one of the easiest spell cards in the game. Just go in between one of the safe spots, and then you like barely have to move. If you get hit here, I don't know what to say. Now here we are at Curse of Latepes. This one is a little mean because of the wiggly woogly knives that move in strange patterns that should not go like they shouldn't move like that. I don't like it. And the knives leave behind red bullets. Be careful of the spawning, but it can be done. You just have to watch out for knives particularly. This isn't too rough, but she has 3 distinct patterns here. One is a smaller bullet spread, one is the large circular orbs, and then the final one is the fire. She cycles in that pattern. The orbs and the fire are very easy to dodge because they leave giant open spaces, and you have to get in front of it to shoot again. This one is the only one you really have to be careful for, just because it kind of moves in random directions and spreads all over the place. But these ones, very easy to dodge. Just try to meet her wherever she stops shooting them to do as much damage as possible to end this cycle as fast as possible. And her next spell card is Scarlet Shoot. This one can be a little rough depending on how ready you are to move. I thought I was going to get fucked over this. I panic bombed. Yeah, you just kind of gotta try to find a safe space. Don't let that happen, like I did. I think I'd run out of bombs, but I can't say for certain because I wasn't paying attention. Now, Red Magic is her final spell card. She shoots off a bunch of orbs, and they will kind of, if they go underneath the screen, they will disappear. But if they hit one of the sides of the screen, they will bounce off and keep moving. And they kind of spawn bullets as they move. Now, if you bomb during this spell card, as with most final bosses on the final spell card, they will become invincible from the attack. But that should not dissuade you from using a bomb if you have to, because it will still delete all the bullets on screen, which I use to get myself out of bad spots frequently. You just generally gotta avoid the bullets for as long as possible, and keep putting the pressure on Remilia to try and take it down as quick as possible, because you do not want to extend the spell card. The longer you sit in the spell card, the longer you risk losing your 1cc at the very end of things. So try to get things through as quickly as possible, and we're very close to the end. Except for their princess is a fucking godlike theme, just want to say that, get that out of the way. And yep, that's the story of how I accidentally 1cc Touhou 6 after 3 months of not playing the game and jumping in with a style I've never used before. Nothing much to say here. Kind of surprised I did it. Had fun. I love Touhou 6 a lot. I can come back to this game just about any time, as I just did. The next 1cc I'll be doing will probably be Touhou 13, because I just said I had a 1cc run going into a literal final attack. That will... Can't say when it's going to happen. I'm actually going to go lab for that run as soon as I hit the stop recording button on this. But... sorry that it's taking so long to get a new Touhou 1cc. I had an old one of 8 I uploaded. It's because 13, well, not really 13, as much as 14 and 16 have been giving me some trouble. And 11 has just mercilessly beaten my ass. So I haven't really had much luck in the terms of newer games. So I decided to chase back and do some older ones. So hopefully they'll satiate you until I can at least get Touhou 13 done. I'm planning to go for 14 after that. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to crack open 17 for the first time, or if I'm going to make runs for 16 or 11. I still have to finish 11, actually. I haven't even managed that. But yeah, that's enough of me mouth rattling off. I hope you enjoyed. Please look for the next upload. And thank you for watching. That is all, and goodbye.